Namaste and welcome to Krishna McKenzie ji. He is a person who wears many turbans, I think, rather than hats. He's a musician and very accomplished farmer. So I won't use the name specialist because I saw in one video you said specialist ella sollakodadu, everybody should be a generalist and should know about the land and about what we eat. We should know where it's sourced from. And I congratulate you. I saw a video where you say you've just finished a 365-day project on putting out blogs on natural farming, and he runs
Yeah.
a eatery called Solitude in Auroville. So, may I ask how you came by the name Krishna? And I saw the connection to J. Krishnamurti, which is beautiful. But why
No,
Krishna?
that's I think that's not so important. Better just go the next thing. That's something I don't dwell on. It's just like that. Just came
Okay,
along like that. Yeah.
okay. And when did you first come to India? And what
I
made
came
you stay
first.
back?
So I came first when I was 16 years old. When I was studying the J. Krishnamurti school, there was a multi-millionaire who was a very close friend of Krishnamurti, and Krishnamurti called him his guardian angel. He's responsible for many of the Krishnamurti centers in India for the financial backing of helping, at least supporting schools, and also in America and also in
Your
England.
your voice is a little distant. Could you speak closer to the mic first?
Can you hear it now?
Yes, yes.
So I'm saying that
Please go on.
I
Sorry
was
to
six.
interrupt.
No problem. I was saying that when I was 16, a multi-millionaire friend of J. Krishnamurti, he paid for our school to visit India. And we divided into four groups and we visited all the four Krishnamurti schools. And that then after that, there we were a week in Banaras, a week in Rishi Valley, a week in the Valley School in Bangalore, a week in Chennai, and then I spent a couple of weeks in NGOs in Raichur and Sirsi in the north of Karnataka, and that was a massive eye opener to be here. I was just 16 then, and after that, I went back to school for another 3 years. And in that 3 years, I slowly came to the understanding that I want to live in India, actually. Yeah.
So, what project were you involved in reforestation in at Auroville, and how did that come about?
So, so when I first came to Auroville, it was January 92, 93, sorry, January 93. And I was deeply inspired by Masanobu Fukuoka, my guru, Japanese farmer. And that led me to meet Bernard de Klerk, who is like a guru for Namawal. And Namawar, sorry. And he lived in Annapurna. He said, come and live in Annapurna because Fukuoka had visited Annapurna. So I spent a year in Annapurna driving tractors, plowing, threshing the rice, milking cows, learning. It was just like an internship, like an apprenticeship, you could say. And I think especially understanding seasons, language, starting to relate with the local people. That gave me a lot of vision of how to start my own project. I didn't realize that that was my calling, but that was actually what was calling me. So I heard that there was a land free called Aranya in Auroville, not Aranya in Hyderabad, Aranya in Auroville. It was a 50-acre farm reforestation project that was in its very, very first year or two. So I went out there, and a few friends helped me put up a hut with granite pillars and bamboo, and heat the panawalai. And mm, I started living out there and farming, and I was helping a bit with the reforestation there. And after about a year there, I came and I started Solitude Farm, which was a bit more central in Auroville.
Right. So when we talk about in big conferences, and when big academics talk about climate change and foresting, they talk about it as if it's the farming of the future. But clearly, it's something that we've inherited from our forefathers who were very closely connected to the land. And you keep pointing this out in terms of what our grandparents ate and what they cooked and how they cooked it. So, why is there this confusion about whether it's the farming of the future or farming of the past?
I mean, I think that when you take these climate change conferences, like I was at one, a couple of years ago. I was at one with Sri Aditya Nath as well in Lucknow, this G20 things, and I mean, this one I was at in Pondicherry, in a big, big university. They had brought in professors from one big university in London who were who were experts, experts on climate change. And when it came to give my speech, I asked the audience, I said to them, "Do you like muringa kire, the drumstick spinach?" I think in Hindi it's called sahajan, no? And and everyone nodded their head. Ama, muringa ramba pidika. We like muringa. It's part of our culture. We know how to use that. We eat that at home. I said, that's fantastic news. That's wonderful to hear. And I asked them, secondly, does it grow on the campus? They said there are 10,000 students on the campus. The campus is absolutely huge. It's growing everywhere. I said, but that's wonderful news. Third question, do you serve it in the canteen? Illa. No, they don't use it in the canteen. So you're bringing professors from England to talk about climate change, knowing that industrialized agriculture is the major contributing factor to climate change, and you are not eating something that A, you like, B, you know how to use, and C, you have growing in your back garden. So I would say, this is not a complicated thing, but our whole education system, academia, the industrialization of agriculture, the whole economic, architecture in which we're, trapped in, the whole how that has crystallized society to value an iPhone rather than understanding how to eat, how to make a juice with a hibiscus flower. That type of mindset is preventing us from understanding that the very foundation of our culture is based in Bhumidev, which is a divinity. And that knowledge is there in a culture. If you go to England or America, the culture has been eroded. If you go to countries where there was a genocide of culture, like America and Australia, it's frightening, actually. I tell many Israelis, if you really want to do natural farming, look to the Palestinians because they know the land. You know, you're a very young country. They're the ones who will help you. But, the thing is, like, if we lost our culture, then we lost that relationship with Bhumidev. And therefore, food only becomes very, functional. You eat to go to the job at this time in the morning, to log in, to get your paycheck, to get home, to have that 2 weeks in Thailand once a year. What is the life about? We've created a very sad society. It's like climbing in a hole, and then you can't get out. Whereas all that knowledge is there in a culture in India. In England, I would say it's been lost and it could be found, and some people are searching for it. Like my sister has an amazing project which is focused on this cultural redemption, reclaiming cultural identity through honoring Mother Nature in various ways, which is what we're doing in Solitude, which many people in India are doing. But that work is not about organic farming. That work is not about some gimmick, or some slogan or something. That work is about understanding. First there is Annamaya Kosh, and that Annamaya Kosh comes from the earth. Then there is Pranamaya Kosh, then there is Manamaya Kosh. Mind gives birth to language. Without the body, there's no language. Without local food, there's no body. It sounds very clever, and oh Krishna, you are so clever how you tell. But anyone can understand this. I meet villagers uneducated, they completely get it, they completely agree. And I meet rich, famous people, and they also agree. This is our lowest common denominator is local food. That muringakire. If you have a different opinion in music to me, you like Hindustani, I like Carnatic. You like J. Krishnamurti, I like Sai Baba. You are Saivam, you are a vegetarian, I am Asaivam, I eat meat. We'll fight for all sorts of difference in opinions, concepts, ideals, ideologies, you know but you put the moringa here between us, both of us will say, Ayo, nalla irukkunga. So, this is tasty. This is local food, is our lowest common denominator. And the biggest profit of it is cultural identity, because it's what brings resonance between us in a society, I think. I hope I haven't
Yeah.
answered
The
all your
problem,
question in one go.
no, no, the way you every time I listen, some new question will come up. Especially Muringa Kira Ade was my mother-in-law's trademark,
Okay.
and the leaves used to be put in the Ade dosa. So that is
Sema.
a very
Mm.
common food on our table. But the
Mama.
next generation palates have changed, so they want western food, or they want modification of our traditional foods.
Illinga,
So the
palate hasn't.
influence of media and the coming up of
But the palette hasn't changed. It's just that
but
they're
I think Ninga,
overexposed to those things.
yeah, in one video you mentioned that your, yeah, yeah, you mentioned in one video I saw, you said your son still has kanji, and I think your charming wife mentioned that he likes it and he enjoys ragi
Ama,
kanji.
kandipa, ragi, kuru, kanji, all of these things we like very much. I think anyone will if you give them a chance. If you had a if you had next to the Kentucky Fried Chicken, you had a shop, doing hot kanji with little urkes and something, and some kelvarg ade, ragi ade. I'm sure people would go there as well. But that's not there. That sort of effort, the way with that
Yeah,
we subsidize various things. Like maybe government should subsidize some street hawkers to set up these nice. Maybe they can provide them with the kaivandi, the trolley, and some basic infrastructure to do this. And give them a subsidy on buying like tenai, have tenai pongal and the ragi adai and the kudaravali upma, and then I'm sure those things would pick up. If the government could recognize. And I say government, but I don't point fingers at government. I think that it's very much the consumer who has to be behind this, no? But government could surely help. And I think government could also, see that anything we do that addresses a collective value in a society is going to create a more healthy society, and that is only going to be of benefit for everyone. And I don't mean healthy in nutritional and physical health only. I mean healthy in a emotional and a psychological way as well.
absolutely. Food has a very emotional connect, and we connected to family gatherings, we connected to visits to our grandparents. So for sure, certain recipes should be preserved and passed on. Krishna. So, what are your favorite recipes and vegetables? apart from
I
Muringeki?
like very much Varagu Pongal, the millet Pongal. I like very much. I love Manatakali Samba. That I'm crazy for that. And although I run a vegan cafe, many people will be surprised to know that I do eat fish sometimes. And I love mean korumbu. I'm sorry to say. Maybe people will be unhappy to hear that, but I love mean korumbu. And I like Varatanda juice very much. Varatanda juice is one of my favorite juices. Um, the sour sop is amazing in our ice cream we make. So many things are there. So many of the tandakere, ponangani,
Yeah, I think
all of
you
these
mentioned
things.
Sundeka. Yeah, Sundeka is
Sundaka.
something that doesn't grow well here in Karnataka.
I doubt that's true. I think that if you look
Is
harder,
it?
you'll find it everywhere. Kandipa Valram.
Yeah,
Surely it's
on the
growing.
way
It's
between Mysore, yeah, to Bangalore, it grows wild. It's there in the roads on the side.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Maybe in certain areas where climate is maybe a little colder, but in other areas it's surely there. It's there from from Kanyakumari to Surat. It's there, no doubt. But the thing is, people forgotten the value of it and how to use it.
Yeah. So your ability to speak in Tamil has a very big connect with your audience, and your message is so impactful because of that. So how did you pick up Tamil? யார் சொல்லிக் கொடுத்தா உங்களுக்கு பாஷை?
அது இந்த பெருவி நான் ஒரு வெள்ளக்காரன் பிறந்துச்சு. நான் போன பெருவி நான் தமிழ்காரன் பிறந்துச்சு. அப்போ போன பெருவில இருந்து ஞாபகம் வருது. அது அவ்வளவுதான். ஈஸியா தான். ரொம்ப சுலபம். நான் நாத்தி ஜாதகம்
But
பண்ணியாச்சு.
நீங்க
வைத்தீஸ்வரம் கோயில் நாத்தி ஜாதகம் பண்ணியாச்சு. அந்த அந்த சாமி இவர் என்ன சொன்னங்க, நீங்க போன பெருவி நீதான் கோயம்புத்தூர் பிறந்துச்சு. அப்போ கண்டிப்பா எனக்கு கொஞ்சம் ஒரு கனெக்ஷன் மாதிரி இருக்க போன பெருவில இருந்து.
வாவ்! அது ரொம்ப
நான் அப்படிதான்
இன்ட்ரஸ்டிங்.
நினைக்கிறேன்.
உங்களுக்கு அதுல
I
அது
believe that.
அதுல
I
உங்களுக்கு
believe that.
அது யா
Because
யா
I've actually never
அது ஐ வாஸ்
studied
ஜஸ்ட் கோயிங் டு
Tamil. I've had like 3 or 4 classes in my
ஓகே.
life by one good friend in Auroville. He's a very good teacher. And he's taught me a few things, but it's a few words that have stuck. And as I've done my talks, I've asked, how do you say that? How do you say that? And I've created like, of course I'm an actor. I've done a lot of theater. Acting is my most natural expression is theater. So for me, it's all like a communication. So it comes very easy to me.
So, because the words that you use are very classical, like you say "vanaivi" instead of "pondati," and very nice. It sounds very
Ama,
beautiful, as Tamil
samsara.
language should sound.
ஆமா
Yeah.
தமிழ் அப்படிதான் இருக்கு.
Yeah.
My Tamil is very crude compared to someone from Sri Lanka or from Madurai. My Tamil is very vada poda. நான் அப்படிதான் கட்டுக்கிட்டுச்சு. The people here we speak like that in this area, Pondicherry style. But it's a very ancient language, and I never claimed to know Tamil. I've just a little tiny bit scratched at the surface. It's such an extraordinary language, and extraordinary language. It's a great blessing to have to have had it come into my life, and to somehow have that means of communication, because I've received so much love from Tamil people. So much love every day on the street. Oh, நீங்க தான் கிருஷ்ணா. ஐயோ, நீங்க உங்க வீடியோ எனக்கு எவ்வளவு ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும். எங்க அம்மா தான் உங்க உங்க ரெசிபி எல்லாம் ட்ரை பண்ணிச்சு. எங்க பாட்டி ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும். ஐயோ, it's very touching. I never got that much love from being in England.
Yeah, no, it's very charming. You say you're an actor, but it's so natural, and it's so
No, it's not
amazing. You
like
just want
I'm.
to keep listening.
But it's not like I'm acting. It's not like I'm putting
Yeah.
it on. I'm just saying that that
No, no,
tool of
nobody can
communication is
put it
very
on.
much, yeah. இல்ல இல்ல ஆமா கண்டிப்பா இது உண்மைதான் இது மனசுல இருந்து வருது கண்டிப்பா it's my very profound
So,
spiritual
yeah, what
inclination.
else do you, what else do you, yeah. So,
Huh?
what else do you like about Tamil Nadu, Krishna? தமிழ்நாட்டுல வேற என்ன பிடிக்கும் உங்களுக்கு? கோவில்,
I mean, I
கர்நாடிக்
like the
மியூசிக்,
I
காவேரி
Carnatic
நதி.
music. கர்நாடிக் மியூசிக் எனக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும். நான் ஒரு டூ அல் டூ ஆல்பம் பண்ணியாச்சு. Kartik Aya கூட. I don't know if you know Kartik Aya. Kartik Aya live from
Yeah.
Chennai, Indo Soul. So he was my violinist. We traveled in America and England together for concerts. And wonderful Carnatic musician, but also plays a lot of other Western stuff. Very great musician. So having chance to play with him, I did a few concerts with Mahesh Vinayakram, Viku's son also, Viku Mama's son, and bits and pieces with
Okay.
Naveen Iyer who did Slumdog Millionaire. So I've had a chance to play with various very good Carnatic musicians,
Wow.
and that's influenced a lot my music. So right now we're about to start recording our fourth album, and we on our Instagram we have a lot of giveaways and gifts for people to help us support the recording of our album, and that's really exciting to. Yeah, music is a very beautiful part of Tamil culture, no doubt.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to
I
run a
like more
music
so.
magazine for 5 years.
Huh?
I used to
என்ன
run a
சொன்னீங்க?
music magazine for 5 years.
Oh, which was that? Which magazine?
Music magazine.
Which one?
It was called Samagana, the first melody.
Okay.
Samagana, the first melody. It's called Samagana, the first melody.
That's okay. Okay.
It was
Beautiful.
there, and copies of which are found in Music Academy in Chennai.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Very
So
nice.
our
Beautiful.
first person we interviewed was Balamurli Krishna.
Okay.
Balamurli Krishna was the first person we interviewed.
Okay. Going back to your question, though, I think
So,
that
which are
what
the?
I like,
Do you
what I
find a
like.
connect?
Hello. I was
Yeah,
saying
tell me.
what I like, especially in Tamil Nadu. I mean, although it's not limited to Tamil Nadu, it's India. I would say it's the land. Like the forests. There's forests in Tamil Nadu, like behind the Senji. There's this Devananapatai. There's forests up in the hills, which are still they're still un they of course they've been touched, but they're still real forests. They're still original forests, what we call the tropical dry evergreen forest. And being in those native forests is really extraordinary. It's such an extraordinary feeling. Also, being in Wayanad, my friend Suprabha Seshan, she's an extraordinary activist, and she runs a beautiful sanctuary called the Gurukula Botanical Sanctuary. That's virgin rainforest. So when you're in those spaces of nature, you feel Bhumi Dev. She's so present. She's the precursor to this civilization, with its Sangam period poetry and its Carnatic music and the temples and Ramana Maharishi and all these things. And I think that the land is what touches me most.
Yeah. So, what is your typical day like? What is your typical day like?
So, like, tomorrow actually I have to go to Delhi. But normally I will be up and doing a morning meeting with my staff at 8 o'clock. We have like a 5-10 minute meditation, and then after that, everyone goes to the field and does the harvest. And we come back to the kitchen and we weigh all the harvest, lots of different things from the There's this at the moment, there's cluster beans and ashwood and papayas, chiku, soursop, tomatoes, long beans, lady's finger, lots of spinaches. And we pack the produce to sell to the shop. And we also pack baskets to deliver to people in Auroville. So that takes about um, a bit more than half the morning, and we have to do all the recording of the data and everything. And then often I'll squeeze a video in of what I'm doing, some inspiration, and go and check out what's happening in the farm. I'm not so much in the farm myself these days, just because there's a lot of demand on my time for a lot of other things. It's not like I don't like it, but there's a lot of demand on a lot of my attention is needed to look at a lot of things. So yeah, that's sort of my mornings, and then the cafe, and I also have to check the menu in the cafe and what they're cooking and how they're cooking and what they're doing, and I follow that to a certain extent. And in the afternoon again, check out what's happening with the farm and various other things. Try to make some time for music and rehearsal and various other work that I'll have to do. Yeah, so many things going on. Once a week, I'm going to Chennai, and I have a project with a big corporate space where we're re-landscaping their space into a farm and a farm to plate kitchen. So that takes my time and various requests like that as well.
Sorry to have troubled you on a Sunday.
இல்லைங்க,
So,
ஒன்னும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை, ரொம்ப
yeah.
சந்தோஷம். I'm
But
very happy to be here.
thank you, Nandri. Or a request that Mudinja, if you can just record a short video in your backyard or in your garden, like you do for your Insta, with all your greenery. Just a short video.
I mean, that's when do you want that? Now?
Then whenever
With
it's convenient and the light is good.
Okay. I mean, yeah, okay. Now it's getting a little darkish, but we could. Yeah, what do you want to see in the garden? I think better you just take something
Anything.
from
We
you.
just
Better you just take something from YouTube. No, that's better. You can just take what you like.
I can't, yeah, I can't use it on Insta as a, there'll be some copyright and all that. I just need a short clip. If you can give me a short clip, that's fine.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'll send you something.
Yeah. So, thank you so much. And if there's anything that Indic can do to support your vision and mission, please do let us know. Because it's
Thank you
amazing the
so
work
much.
you're doing, both in
Thank you
music
so much.
and in agriculture.
Thank you so much. Yeah, if there's any chance that you can
Yeah.
share our
Namaskaram. Please let me
crowdfunding
know.
campaign, we would be. Yeah, if there's any chance you could share our crowdfunding campaign, we would be very, very honored. Because the music really is, music and celebration really goes hand in hand with the local food, with community, with farming, and I think people don't understand how that is really one thing, and that we've been working very consistently on bringing people together with food and farming. And yeah, if so, making this new album we're about to do, many people also in India don't know what crowdfunding is. So maybe you could share that on your networks. We would maybe be a wonderful support for us.
Sure, please. If you could just share a concept note also, then we
Yeah,
could
I'll
just look
share
at
you
it
a link.
independently also.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
share you a link. You just open that link and have a look.
Okay.
Okay, ma.
Thank you so much.
Mikka Nandri. Om.
Yeah. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nandri. Bye bye.